Let's go.
Shit. Um, Hello everyone. Welcome to the Castaway podcast. My name's MoonDoggie. I'm your guest for this evening. And with me here we have Augie, anime Augie.
Yo, how's it going? How's it going?
We have my brother in Christ, Energy.
Yo, what's good, man? What's up?
We've got Alex.
What's up, baby?
And the man paying my bills at the moment, the masked man.
Yeah.
That's a crazy way to put it.
Is that a good intro? Is that okay?
That's good, man.
That was great.
I liked it. You know,
That was amazing.
The first time. This is the first time I've been.
That was
told
how
that,
you would say
so.
mint. It's mint. Is that a
Mint,
good way
you
to
said?
use New Zealand like slang? Mint. How do you say it?
Yeah. Mint.
I thought you said
I thought you were saying mid. I was like, damn, I did a shit
Oh,
job.
mint. Mint.
Like mint, like isn't like chewing gum.
You did better than me when I first introduced the podcast because I didn't know what to say, to be honest.
No,
Like,
but
I
like,
was-
what do you usually say? Like, you're like, oh, that's mint. When I asked you,
Yeah,
earlier?
it's mint.
Does that
Oh,
mean
mint.
like that's
Means
like
good,
that's
means
like
fine.
fire? Like that's valid?
Yeah.
I feel it.
That's cool.
Yeah, we say that shit here as well. Mented. Scrape
Yeah,
something with mented. It's
mented.
like fucking
Or
awesome.
munted.
Yeah,
I've never heard you
something
say
like
that in my life.
Yeah,
Usually.
I don't obviously say shit like that on Discord because you guys won't fucking understand what I'm saying. So
We might. We could learn. We could adapt.
I
you know?
appreciate every word you say, Energy. Don't worry. You're speaking in my mother tongue.
yo,
So
bruh.
Moondoggie, you wanna introduce yourself and
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
tell us a little bit about yourself for the people
I
who
should
don't
do
know
that.
that are watching.
So my name's MoonDoggie. I'm, I guess, a YouTuber. I make animated videos talking about my feelings and about anime. Yeah, I think it's the best way I can put it, right?
No, yeah, that's a pretty good way
Yeah.
of putting it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That shit was
MoonDoggie is also the guy who made this layout and our logo and pretty much everything. Like he made the vision.
This
You know what
dude
we had
is
in mind
this
perfectly.
dude is the Castaway engineer. This guy is the Castaway
Yeah.
engineer. This shit would not
So
be
if you
possible
guys-
without this guy, bro.
I'll
I
take
don't know,
that.
MoonDoggie, if you're accepting commissions or whatever, but you know, he commissioned our shit. It's pretty good. So, you know, if you
Yeah.
guys need something done, there you go. MoonDoggie. The Moondog.
Paid ad. No, I'm kidding.
Paid hand,
kind of
yeah.
like to talk about that. Since you kind of did pretty much engineer everything we have, or just creatively come up with it. Like, what's your like? I know we talk about it all the time, but for the people that don't know, like, what goes into your creative thought process when you kind of think of like our vision and stuff? You know what I mean?
True. Damn. So usually I'll just be like out running or in the shower, and then thinking about my Pinterest board, and then
Mhm.
the ideas kind of just like come out, and then I go to my desk and scribble them down. Pretty much. That's it.
So you're essentially just built different.
Yeah.
I
So like
don't
You're
know.
built different.
How do you guys come up with ideas? Like, what's your
Like,
I mean,
I don't know
I'm
how
the
I
same
would
way,
try to
honestly. like in the shower.
I don't know what I'm trying to like get at. Yeah, but like you kind of are able to capitalize what we like initially wanted without really having like a crazy explanation. You kind of just already knew. You know what I mean?
He's got the
I
artist
think-
IQ.
And I feel like without just not just us in general, but like anything, because you've obviously done commissions for us as well outside of that, and like artwork for me and Mass and whoever, and it's like you're just able to understand regardless of like what it is. You know what I mean?
Mm. Yeah, I mean that's a pretty big compliment, damn. But it's not always like what you don't see is the like for every one good drawing, there's like 15 pieces of garbage that like sit in the bin. and make me feel real bad about myself. But that's kind of just art in general, and it's like you only see the top 1% of all the stuff you make on your Twitter timeline, you know. That's something I kind of wish I said in my last video, which is like when you see like a really good piece of art and you're like an artist, that you got to remember, like, the person who posted that is really proud of that. Like, that's their best work. They're not showing you all the shit they went through to get there. You're the only one who gets to see all the literal garbage that you don't show. So don't feel bad when you see like a really, really polished piece of artwork, you know?
I never thought about it like that, honestly.
Field, isn't it? Like the whole thing with artists, because you know, I know that, for example, being a content creator, there's so you could educate me on this a little bit, but like when it comes to being a content creator, there's so many different ways that people can stand out. Like I've always said, when it comes to other channels, you know, there are a lot of others that I give their props to in terms of editing, but in speaking, I'll take myself over anyone. But when it comes to artists, right, it's like it's very competitive, incredibly competitive, and so it's like even if you have a unique style of your own, I feel like that's such a, I don't know, again, it could just be because I'm not someone who draws, but it's like standing out in that sort of field. It's like you can't just be an artist. You have to have other things on top of that, right? Like there has to be that difference, right, between, oh yeah, this guy has cool artwork, and then having artwork that's sellable, you know, that people want to commission and invest in. So like, is that something that you, as an artist, you feel that sort of like the competitiveness of it? Is that something that you feel and you're aware of, or you're just kind of
maybe not for me personally, because I try to keep the mindset of like art is nothing without your personality, right? It doesn't matter how like technically skilled you are. I think a piece of art that like shows how someone thinks is just as valuable as something that's very technically prolific, I guess.
Right, gotcha.
Yeah.
Are there any artists specifically that you fuck with heavy?
Damn, there's a lot.
What's that one guy you have on your wall? What's that guy's name again?
Oh yeah, Matthias Urbanowicz. I don't really know how to pronounce his surname, but that Polish guy who's a watercolor artist. Yeah, that I talked about it in that video, but basically he was this dude I just stumbled across. And like I heard he had these Photoshop brushes he was giving away. And when I looked him up, I found out he did all this amazing art, and that he worked on Makoto Shinkai's movies. And that's a whole like, whoa, okay. And specifically, his art is obviously quite different to what you see in like an anime. But you can tell the way he's doing art is very much so like the way he wants to do it, and even down to like the way he draws lines. Like he purposefully makes his lines kind of wiggly and kind of like wonky because he feels like that looks good to him, you know? Yeah, I think that's really special when you see artists do stuff like that, because obviously all their experiences and whatever, or like all their personal tastes, and just have developed over time. And that's what makes it good, right? Like the way that like Ichiro Oda draws One Piece is so different to how Kubo draws Bleach, but they're both just as good as each other in my mind, you know? Sorry, I'm kind of like rambling.
No, that's the whole point.
Ramble till your heart's content.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
Because sometimes I see like kind of like shitty takes on like some artwork on Twitter, and someone will be like, Bleach's artwork so much better than One Piece, and it's like I don't know if that's true. I think on a technical level maybe, but I think One Piece is so expressive. I mean Bleach is too, but it's a completely different way of drawing, in the same way that people speak differently, you know, like people think differently. You don't necessarily say, hey, I speak better than the way you speak, but it's like, no, you have a different accent to me. That's you know.
Yeah, I get it. It's like and I think most of the people most of those people that throw in all those insults like, oh, this looks ass or whatever, like in terms of art, you realize like those people aren't really like the people that should be saying those things. Like, they're not even
Yeah.
artists themselves. Like for you, I guess, because you know the perspective. You have the artist perspective. I guess you broke it down pretty easily. Like me personally, I'm not an artistic kind of guy. More of a technical kind of dude. Like computers, anything hands on really.
Mm-hmm.
So seeing these people like this art's better than this, I'm like, well, shit, I don't know, because one looks good.
I mean, it's all subjective at the end of the day. It's
Yeah,
all
yeah,
like,
but
I get what you're
one looks
saying.
good.
Like, what?
But like how he just explained it, I never thought of it that way. Like you can't really compare the two because it's just one person's way of saying a word, basically. Like example.
Yeah, or like holding a
how
pencil,
somebody
holding a
sounds.
pen.
Yeah, like it's all fundamentally
like
different.
I feel like for the example of Kubo and Oda, it's like when you were saying Oda's a lot more. I mean, not a lot more, but like his world is more so expressive than as like the technical.
Kubo, who's like minimalistic.
Like how it's. Yeah, Kubo's more technical with his characters and more minimalistic on that kind of side, but Oda kind of goes more into his world, and it's not obviously most of the characters look very similar and a lot of them look very different, but it's more about not exactly what's about the character, but about the world and the stuff around it, whereas Kubo's more about like the character and minimalistic and having that technical side. At least that's kind of like what I'm getting from what you're saying a little bit.
Yeah.
Like even the art itself, like Kubo, like Oda, for example, like he likes to exaggerate body parts and shit, like and facial expressions and shit like that. Whereas like Kubo, if he wants to show like a character happy or whatever, he'll just simple smile or whatever. There's not like a big crazy smile like Oda, which many people like it. So
yeah, definitely. I'm obsessed with Kubo's art too. I'm obsessed with Oda's art, but I love Kubo's art so much, but it's not a style that really works for me because I'm not like a very technical artist, I'd say. As much as I try to like replicate that, and I have gone through phases, been like, I need to draw like Kubo. It never works out. Everyone's kind of got their own strengths, right? Or like even like look at Oh no, go ahead.
I was gonna say like, what are your in terms of manga in general, because we're on the topic of it, like what are your three biggest inspirations for what have made you come up with your style that you draw now?
Manga specifically, or just like anime and stuff?
Anime, manga in general. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
You can say games too, or whatever. Any kind of character design that would like, or like in that realm, in that sphere.
Yeah. The first one obviously is kind of like Makoto Shinkai. I think he, like, not just on like an artistic level, but on the way he even like learned how to animate, I really relate to. He's like kind of like a hack. Like he kind of learned things digitally, and he was like one of the first people to adopt like CG and anime. Like way back when, like 2001, he was just like, you know what? No one else is really doing CG. I'm gonna try make a short by myself in my bedroom. I find that really, really admirable about him. And also too, like with Makoto Shinkai, if you watch all of his movies in order, you're watching like different iterations of the same thing. I think that's really interesting. I think a lot of people shit on it as well, which is fair enough. But I think being able to watch like 5 centimeters per second and then Your Name, it's so cool seeing. It's like, oh, okay, this. We're just getting closer to what he wanted to do in the first place. You know. I think that's really cool.
That's interesting.
Anything by like Studio Trigger, I really love. I think they're like Kill la Kill specifically. That art style where it's kind of like it looks like it's drawn with crayons, but it's so like serious and like has so much integrity in it. I find that really special. Like same goes for like Gurren Lagann, which is like my favorite anime ever. Has that same kind of like it's goofy when it needs to be and so free, and every drawing feels so free. But when it needs to be hard, it needs to be serious. It makes you feel that way. and maybe one more. Attack on Titan. Is that lame to say? Mostly because like.
Are we talking more like Wit, Mappa, or like
specifically the manga?
Isayama?
Okay. Yeah, Isayama specifically, because he have you seen the concept manga for Attack on Titan, like the one shot he did?
Yeah.
It's so rough and it's so like unrefined. But he is a really good storyteller. Like the whole world of Attack on Titan is so interesting and so like rich, and it's such a great concept. And I think his journey on like from chapter 1 to chapter 138 or 139 or whatever is like a little shonen story in itself, because it's like you see this dude who kind of like moved to Tokyo, he wasn't that good at drawing, but he really wanted to make manga, and then he got this gig publishing in Kodansha, and he like worked his ass off to try and improve. And I think what Wit did with season 1 is take what he did and fully realize it, right? But then by the time you get to season 4, I think, for me anyways, the manga is just as good as the anime at that point. Because he's developed so much and he's learned from the anime, and he's you've seen him grow as an artist. I might do a video on that at some point. I really want to do a video on Attack on Titan sometime this year, talking about that. But yeah, there you go.
Okay. Nah, yeah, I mean, I think he got Isayama was, I think Energy can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but like I'm pretty sure he went to Jump first, or some magazines, like I don't know if Jump Plus was back around that time, but like he got like heavily denied until I think he went to Kodansha. Yeah. And like it was just trial and error until Kodansha kind of like really let him do what he wanted. Because I mean, his story is, I know a lot of people will talk about it. There's like this what is it, visual novel that's like super like 1-to-1 with Attack on Titan. I forgot the name of it. I don't know if Mass, you might know. Yeah, there's actually a visual novel. Or it might not be a visual novel, but I think it might just be a game that is literally if Attack on Titan, but with like mechs and stuff. I don't know, like, do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like Energy or Mass? Like
Titanfall.
It's not Titanfall. It came out in like 07, 08. I don't like right before he started actually doing Attack on Titan, and and I think that was like one of his biggest inspirations, on top of him having like that dream or whatever with like giant humanoid creatures, you know, like, and kind of just mixing those two into his own world.
Are you talking about, is it a video game you're talking about that inspired him?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Nah,
it's not Shadow of the Colossus. It's
that's cool. If it is, that's dope.
I'll look into it right now. But I'll get back to you on it.
Yeah, I'm keen to. Speaking of game, this is a good transition. I said earlier I wanted to talk about Attack on Titan games.
Oh yeah.
Have you guys played any?
No, but I've watched Energy and VC play the fucking the one where you swing around like a Titan. I meant fucking.
Yeah, so there is this fan game that is completely on like Unreal Engine. What is it? Not the newest one. Is it 4?
4.
It's called the game I was talking about, by the way, it's called Muv-Luv Alternative. And if you look into that game, and there's YouTube videos on it, but that whole entire story is literally just Attack on Titan. So it might kill your perspective on Attack on Titan if you want to look into it. But it is like cool. It is a 1-to-1 version of Attack on Titan, just without mechs and like obviously Titans and all that stuff. But the main plot points of this series is completely taken from that. And I wouldn't say it's completely ripped off. I would just say like a lot of things that made that story great is what Attack on Titan did, or what Isayama used for his story.
I think that's cool though. I think it's great when you can like pick out what do you call it? Like ideas and inspirations in other people's work. They're like, oh, they were clearly a big fan of this. Like Chainsaw Man does that really well.
There was the fan game of Attack on Titan I played, where you kind of I was speed running it for a while when they first came out, and it's basically like
which one?
Man, see there's another game I can't remember the name of, but it's a fan game. So I saw some guy on TikTok make it, and like it was really fun to speedrun because you had the maneuver gear and you were in first person in Shiganshina, like Wall Maria and shit, and you just had to go around killing like 20 titans, and you had to do it as fast as possible. And it was like the funnest thing for a while until like I know he's still updating the game and there's a lot more to it now, but I haven't seen it in a while.
Is it the real chibi one?
No, it was okay. See that one, that was in like when I was watching AOT for the first time back in like 2013, 2014. Like that's that little chibi game on like on online browser. No, that's not what I'm talking about. I know what you're talking about though. I played that one as well. I haven't played the PlayStation games or anything like that though.
Those are good too.
I haven't played any of those. I don't know. Fan-made Attack on Titan game. I think it's just like I don't know if there's a name for it. It's called like Swarmies game. If you look into it, it's a complete fan-made game, and it's just you can go around in first person. It's super fun. I really hope like we get to a point where because we've talked about this before, but like VR, like I really want to get to the point now where like VR can be like that without getting like the motion sickness of it. But obviously not to the level of like SAO where we like can't take our heads gear off.
Augie, have you ever been to Universal?
No, I haven't. I haven't been to Universal.
They have this. I think Japan has it. But in Universal, there's this ride, this Avatar ride. It's like you put on a headset or whatever, and like it's basically like 4D, but like VR experience of Avatar. And isn't it in Japan? They have the same shit, but it's like Attack on Titan.
Yeah,
like
I'm pretty
it's
sure
like a theme park. Oh, you
it
did
wasn't in Universal, but it was in this mall in Odaiba, where like the Unicorn Gundam is, like in that area. They had like an Attack on Titan like VR experience, where they used like all the character models from the PS4 game, and they basically like ran you through a few scenes from the series, and you like had this cool headset on, and like it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean the only reason I mentioned the Universal shit is because of that's what that reminded me of. But what were we gonna say?
If you guys had to pick a game or just a series in general to make a game out of, what would it be?
Oh, that's easy, bro.
For me, at least, or even like a game into a live action show, kind of like The Last of Us. You can go vice versa.
Oh yeah. So for show to game, I always wanted a Bleach game. That still hasn't changed. You know, I'd probably play it for a little bit, but that'd be cool. We need a Bleach game, and then from game to movie, I think we had talked about this on a previous episode, but I'd say the Elder Scrolls series, just because of all the lore and shit.
That's right.
Remember you guys
all the lore and shit. That shit would translate great into like a show or a movie or something. I think people will love it.
What about you, Mast?
Show to a game. Not sure. I mean, we brought up an anime. I don't want to say Berserk because everyone knows that would be like a for sure pay. I think some Dorohedoro, like a Dorohedoro game, would actually be kind of fun. I don't know how they do it. But I think it could.
Obviously, the Front Software Berserk game would be great.
Right. But that's, and for what a game to a show, I don't really play all that many games, and the ones that I do
Dark
play,
Souls.
But I don't think those would translate well into shows.
Elden Ring,
genuinely don't. You could, but it'd have to be the stories of the bosses. It could not be from the perspective of the player.
I do think that a player could. I think that could work because it is the.
They'd have to add some shit.
For example, it's like, for example, if you're watching a walkthrough on Dark Souls, I feel like that'd be just as fun. Maybe not just as fun as playing the actual game and doing it for yourself, but still being able to experience it through, you know, like you said, like you go around the world and you have to experience things for yourself. I mean, that could just be through the perspective of, you know, somebody else.
Yeah,
that you're just watching.
But hypothetically, if you're trying to tell a story, it just wouldn't. You could do it that way, but it could fall real flat because you have to make a character. You can't just have a blank slate walking around with no character arc, no nothing.
They'd obviously add like
they wouldn't even really be a character. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, the main focus from which the perspective would have to be from the actual characters in the series. That's what I'm saying. It wouldn't. It could work. It wouldn't translate that as well as I think other games that I just haven't played might translate better into a show.
What about like an anthology kind of series? So it doesn't need to necessarily have like character arcs and stuff. If you did something like if you took the bosses and made like a 20-minute OVA, really atmospheric kind of.
Yeah. That's the only way I think it would work to the best of like, this was actually a good. It didn't change shit. It didn't add nothing. It was a good adaptation of this shit. Right now, you have a lot of free room because there's a lot of room to be left over. But personally, like if they're like, oh, we're doing this Dark Souls live whatever, motherfucker, if this isn't the story of Artorias, I don't want to watch this. Like personally,
like what if like it wasn't like a not per se like a like following the character type thing. Maybe like it's taking place in like I don't know, a character that's in Dark Souls. Like it's following the story of a character that's in Dark Souls.
That could work. That could work. That again, that's what I was talking about. Like that could definitely work. Like if you did that again, the most prevalent characters are NPCs and bosses, but the ones that are the most heavy would be the bosses, right? So again, a story about Artorias, or if you wanted to do Bloodborne, that could be really fucking cool. If you did like Ludwig, I think that could possibly work. I can't think of any other video game to show just because I honestly just don't play much video games.
My only other solution would be like give the main character a story or something, like just give them like something. Like it's not going to be a faithful adaptation, but
that would kill the feeling of what I think the Soulsborne series kind of does with its main. No, unless you did Sekiro, because Sekiro has a set character with Wolf. Like that is a set character that you could do it with. So that could possibly work. But
makes sense.
I think the only other game to show that I'd like to see, but it wouldn't even be game to live adaptation, it would just be game to anime, would be Asura's Wrath. Although the game in and of itself is already a movie, man. If I could see certain scenes played out, certain things fleshed out a little more. Asura before he got betrayed, and how he met his wife and all that shit, and how he changed up to that point. Like I think it'd be a very, very interesting story to see a little played out more.
I'd want to see like for sure like Zelda done right. I think like they could easily make a story like live. I don't know, like they could do it. And I remember growing up, I don't know if like seeing like live action, like CGI Zelda trailers, like full like movie and stuff. And I was like so excited, but like my little brain wasn't able to like understand like this is just, for views and stuff like that. But I think they could do it if done right. Same thing with like, you just take the concept of like, or not the concept, but like kind of the inspiration of anything Middle Earth related. I feel like it could work. Energy? Are you coherent?
Are you on the BCP? Are you alive?
He hasn't said a word.
I'm good. I'm chilling. I'm listening to you guys. All right.
He's locked in.
Show to video game. Technically this counts Daredevil by Insomniac Games. Daredevil by Insomniac Games. All right, and then game to show. Shadow of the Colossus, because that would make a good show, I think.
Oh.
There we
That's
go.
what's up.
Simple,
Yeah,
easy.
that could be cool. Like Mandalorian style.
Yeah. Yep.
Like somber.
Mm-hmm.
I've
Speaking
been
of
obsessed with
Mandalorian, bro,
Pedro
who's
Pascal
caught up?
lately, bro.
Oh, we have to,
Same.
we have to watch the next episode of that. It came out. Fuck.
Oh, all right, we'll do that after this. But who's been watching that shit
Oh man.
in here besides Energy? I know
I'm-
Energy is.
I'm not caught up. I'm not caught up with the third season.
I'm not gonna say any spoilers either, but
I haven't started. I've heard it's started off kind of rough, not as good.
it's been rough, bro. Like compared to the other seasons, oh yeah, it's been rough,
bro.
It plays like a fucking cartoon.
It's
like a Disney Channel cartoon or some shit. Like,
listen, don't like. It just
Sucks.
feels like an episode of like Power Rangers or some shit. Like it feels like an episode of Power Rangers or something. Like I don't know what happened.
the CGI looks like it, that's for sure.
It's like
CGI is definitely Power Rangers CGI, bro. Holy fuck.
it feels like I'm watching an MCU show in Star Wars. You know what I mean? Like that's what it felt like. That's what it really, really felt like. It felt like you're watching a Marvel show.
Why?
I don't know. It's fucking stupid.
It's a weird vibe to it. It feels like okay, the first few seasons of Mandalorian, you know, is like super badass, you know, Western type shit. Second season, you know, it's not as good as the first season, but you know, it still had that Mandalorian vibe to it. Then you have Boba Fett, which was Mando season 3, basically. Our season right now, we're on season. What season are we?
Boba Fett was so bad.
It's actually season 4. Yeah, it was okay. Boba Fett. It was about Boba Fett for like first couple episodes, right? And then like Mandalorian and Grogu show up. Oh shit!
Wait,
now it's a Mando show.
Does Boba Fett take place between season 2 and season 3 of Mando?
It starts first. Boba Fett escaping the.
Because I remember at the end of
pit.
Boba Fett, yeah, like Luke made Grogu make the decision whether or not to come with him or go with Mando. So I guess like. And then they leave, and then the season 3 starts with them together.
Season 3, no, Boba Fett is not.
Yeah, I really don't like that. I really don't like when they go back on things like that. That could have been so cool. Like, I don't know. It would have been such good character development for both of them just to be separate. But,
yeah, instead they fucking jam
Grogu makes
Mando
money, so.
Yeah, Mando, Grogu, and Ahsoka's in there too. I'm pretty sure. So like, they had all the characters in there for some reason.
Yeah.
And then this season of Mando is just. Sorry.
Isn't Ezra in some scene in some Star Wars show?
No.
Or like he's in a ship. He's in a ship or something. There's a ship, right?
Oh, you do see the ship from Rebels at some point.
Yeah, and you see the fucking MoonDoggie. You've watched Star Wars Rebels?
No, like intermittently.
Well, in there's these fucking big ass like octopus squid space things that like can jump hyperspace.
Oh yeah.
And that we seen them in Mando a couple episodes ago. So we might be seeing Ezra and Thrawn.
Mandalorian season 3.
Oh, Thrawn would be cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
My problem with season 2 of Mando was like it felt like a breadcrumb trail of like Clone Wars references. It was like, okay, go to this planet. There's someone from the Clone Wars there, and then we do the side quest on that planet. And then at the end of that episode, they go, "Oh, did you know this person from the Clone Wars was also hanging around? You should go there." And then that was just it for the whole season.
Bro, and they had the audacity. Yeah, they had the audacity to show those spice, you know, those aliens that were like trafficking spice and shit.
Yeah.
Like they had the audacity to show them, but not fucking what's his name? Fucking Maul. Although, isn't Maul dead by that point? I don't know.
Yeah, he is. He long gone.
Damn,
did you guys watch the Rogue One series? What was that called?
Andor.
Andor. Did you guys watch that?
Andor.
Nope.
No, I've heard good things though.
I want to watch that because I feel like they had a lot more freedom with it.
Yeah,
I think that's why Mando season 1 was so good too.
Yeah.
Isn't that the dude you want
really,
for
really
Reed
good,
Richards? Energy?
Yep. That dude would make a fucking good ass Reed Richards. The guy that plays Andor. Be pretty fucking cool. Yep, that's all that's all I have to say on that, I guess.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Actor. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Listen.
I don't think any of us. I don't think Mass watch. You don't watch Star Wars.
Star Wars, right, Mass?
All right, we're not gonna do this, fellas.
Star Wars.
All right, we're not.
Say Star Wars, Mass.
Mass, can you not say Star Wars?
Okay, all right. Listen, it's all right. Look,
He has trouble sometimes pronouncing Star Wars.
Bro, listen. I've always said Star Wars. All right, just
Star Wars. Star
No,
Wars.
it's not. I shouldn't laugh. That's mean. After I talked about like not making fun of how people speak earlier.
Hey,
Nah, it's fine. It's fine. I have my ways of saying
Fair
things.
wares.
Okay.
everybody laughs at something, you know.
No, you're good. You're good.
What's the other thing y'all poke at me for saying differently? There's something else. Augie, you know, it's
Star Wars.
There's a lot of things.
Okay, all right, go
There's
ahead.
a
Go
lot of
ahead. What are the things I say wrong?
I'm
So that
joking.
much.
I'm joking.
Alright. There's another
I can only
one,
think of
bro.
things Yanko would say or someone else. Yours is just Star Wars, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I
should-
can't
should
There's
we-
another one. There's another one y'all get on me for, bro.
Should we throw Yonko in here real quick to see?
No, bro. What are we doing, bro? What are we doing?
That'd be funny, bro. Yonko coming here for no reason.
You consume TikTok, MoonDoggie?
You consume
I
TikTok?
like
Bro used an
actively.
Indian word. Bro said consume. Like, what is this? A media ranking?
Bruh,
That's the word for it though. I think you don't really like sit and
I
enjoy
consume
TikTok.
TikToks.
Consume that shit.
that energy,
But,
bruh.
Do you
No.
consume
Watching
TikToks? What the fuck, son?
All right, bro. We get it. We get it.
Energy and the BCP is hitting hard.
Yeah.
Do you consume the BCB?
Well, no to both.
No, both. Yeah, don't do it. Don't do
well,
it.
no, I try to really avoid TikTok. I just it feels like like brain rot, you know.
All right, now let me
Yeah.
ask you this: do you watch YouTube Shorts or Instagram Reels?
No. Similarly, I try to just like it's hard. I'm not saying I don't do it or I'm like above it or whatever. I just try my hardest. It's like eating vegetables. It's like you gotta like avoid those short form videos because they're just rotting your brain. But it happens.
You said
And I'm pooping.
Yeah. I
feel
mean,
it.
I never really understood when people said that. Like, I watch TikToks and I'm like, I can watch TikToks for a few, but then for me personally, I can, snap out of it and not be on TikTok for like 2 days
Yeah,
straight, or
that's
3
the
days
tricky
straight.
part. I think for me as well, like my whole shtick with the TikTok thing is if you think about how many TikToks you watch and how many you remember, it's
Yeah.
kind of sad. Like you remember like 1 out of 60, you know, and then like if you want to find it again, it's
It's
impossible.
true. I never
Um,
thought about it like that.
And you
That's so
compare
weird
that
how
to
you
like.
can't see TikToks on YouTube. Like, fuck.
Yeah. There'll be so many times like last year I'll be like, oh my god, that was the funniest video I've ever seen in my life. I need to find it again. Like, have you seen that one that's like it's a Scottish video and the guy's like, how much did that fresh Rolex set you back? And she's like, an hour. And then he like loses his shit. That's the funniest video of my life and I couldn't find it for so long.
I've never seen it, but it sounds stupid.
I'll try to find it. I think Energy you'll really appreciate it. But yeah, if you think
just
about
like
like
watching
how
Scottish people, man.
like when you watch a movie and like how emotionally valuable a movie can be, like you walk away after watching like a good movie and you're good for like a couple of days. You're like, wow, that really affected me. And then you compare that to like a TikTok that you watched while you're taking a shit and you're like, I forgot about it already within
that was pretty
15
funny, I
seconds of
guess.
watching it. Exactly, yeah. I think for me, I try to just avoid getting into that mindset.
Yeah, do find that video though. I like watching Scottish people.
Oh, it's
angry.
hilarious! It's so funny. I like. There's a time and a place for TikTok. I think that's probably a better way to put it. There's absolutely a time and a place, but no way do I think it's like YouTube was trying to push it really hard for a little while, like it was the next best thing. But I was like, no, come on, like this has a time and a place. Let's not all move to TikTok and short form content.
Yeah, feel that. But some people
In
nowadays.
short, he's saying people that watch TikTok are rotting their brains, and I'm better than the rest of you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, and now every YouTuber is trying to capitalize on it. Which I don't blame them.
Yeah.
But
I actually got a comment
Oh, yeah,
recently
everybody
saying
is.
like I should try do TikToks and stuff, and I thought about it. I was like, I
I
don't
mean,
know.
Here's
for
the
promotional
trick.
purposes.
outsource it, okay? This is the trick, right? You find someone and you get them to do it. You pay them whatever's necessary. Be like, yo, you can find people who'd be willing to do it. Now, again, it depends on whether or not you see the investment is worthy. I myself, I've just been really lazy with it. But it's like you just, you do your little TikTok, right? And then you send over the audio to someone, be like, hey, yo, edit it. Here's the account information. You upload it. That way you don't have to touch the app.
Because once you have a TikTok, you have a YouTube short and an Instagram reel if you want to go like all in on that. So
true. But also like the value you get from someone watching your TikToks, like 1 million views on TikTok is worth like 100 views on YouTube or 1,000 views on YouTube. You know what I mean? Like there's it's so like if you grow really quickly through TikTok or Instagram Reels or YouTube Shorts or whatever, the people watching your videos aren't gonna stick around. You know what I mean? There's cases of this happening where like this girl had like millions of TikTok followers and she's like, I'm gonna do a meetup, and then nobody showed up. I was like, oh, okay. If that was 1 million YouTube subs, that would be a very different story. But,
yeah, well, it is very different because one thing is like, okay, I can tolerate this person for 30 seconds. Versus I can tolerate this individual for 8 minutes at least, depending on what your watch time is. But it's like when you've had videos that are 20, 30, an hour plus, and those are videos that are doing well and people are watching them all the way through, those are very different. Like I can't remember any of the TikToks usually that people send. Like I remember memes, right? But I can't really remember the person behind the TikTok, right? Unless it's someone that they send all the time. But I remember Matthew Matos's because I've seen like 2 videos of his, but both of them were like 2 hours long plus because he was able to capture somebody's attention. And I think this is something sometimes that we like really undersell, and like social media has really messed up our perspective of this. But to grasp like 40 people, get 40 people's attention is nuts. 400, 4,000, 40,000, 400,000. Like, bro, that's crazy. That fills up stadiums, and yet we don't even realize it sometimes. Where it's like, it's this toxic comparison game, and always trying to grow. And the moment that your views go down for a little bit, you hit the panic button. But it is a really interesting thing when you look at it, like the nature of doing YouTube. And that's always been why I've been so hesitant myself with like YouTube Shorts and TikTok, because it's like I don't want to attract an audience. Like the most valuable asset I have is what I say. And if people develop a habit of only listening for me for 60 seconds max, that's not the audience I want.
Yeah, 100%. I fully agree with that. Similarly, like the opposite end of that spectrum, like live streaming, like your audience if you're live streaming are worth even more than like YouTube views. You know what I mean? They're so much more valuable, and you can appreciate them more because they show up for you at a time and a place.
Mm-hmm.
There's like different tiers of like audience value, and I kind of like the idea of like getting as close as you can and like valuing those people as much as possible. Because people watching your videos, like Mance just said, like that's a big commitment. And like, I don't know how to put it, like not thanking them for that, but like appreciating them showing up, I think is really special and really important.
Right. Yeah, I think that's part of the motivation for viewers and live streams. It's like, oh, this isn't pre-recorded. This is him live now. And so, they show up and they're there to watch you do whatever. Like I've never streamed anything manga related. Never.
Really?
Never. No, never. All my streams have been me playing the Soulsborne games. Yeah. That's not what my channel is about at all. So I think it would be really interesting one day if I actually did do like a manga tier list stream. Although I know it'd be absolute AIDS, and I'd want to put 2 in the chamber afterwards. So you know,
You
I'm
probably have
just...
to like mute the stream too. After a while, you'd be like, "Oh, this is kind of toxic."
Oh,
Yeah.
bro. Oh, as soon as you get someone from the Middle East and someone else from the Middle East going at it in your comment section, bro, they won't stop. They just won't stop whatsoever. They are passionate, bro, passionate. You respect it, but at a certain point, it is concerning. Where it's like, y'all ain't got nothing better to do. This is what we're gonna do
Yeah,
all day.
just replying.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that is that is a little strange. That's a little strange. I should be real conscious. Like, I think my most recent video is kind of about that, the importance of balancing your life out, right? Having that separation from anime and manga and just entertainment that you sometimes find yourself too deep in. Despite the fact that I benefit off of the people who are like really deep in that kind of stuff. It's a
I
weird
really
thought.
like that video, by the way, just to suck your dick for a minute here. That was a I like the message in that video a lot.
Appreciate it.
I did watch it while I was taking a poo, but
Hey, hold up. Nah, listen. Hearing that, I watched your video while I was using the bathroom or while I was eating, the best compliments you could low-key get. Dead ass.
Yeah.
Because that's when
No,
I'm
no,
watching.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
dedicate
yeah,
this
yeah,
meal. I'm gonna dedicate this meal to
100%.
math.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Is there all
Yeah.
those certain channels? You guys have those certain channels and stuff that you go to when you eat food? I don't
yeah.
usually watch YouTube when I go to the
have Fulcrum,
bathroom.
don't you?
But
You
there's
psychopath.
I right, sometimes. No, but like it's usually like I don't know. It's usually people that eat food or like vlogs. I don't know.
Yeah,
for me.
vlogs. For me, it's like true crime shit, like Cops or like To Catch a Predator or some shit. I don't know. Or like a documentary.
Cannibal. Ooh, he starts eating his food.
Yeah, like a story, like a fucked up story of like a triple homicide or some shit. Like, let me look at this documentary while I eat. That's kind of my thing.
Right.
Or
Yeah.
it used to be anime. When I used to watch a lot of anime, it used to be
Yeah.
I'll watch anime or like a show if I. But lately, I haven't really had shows to watch, so just been watching
I
YouTube.
like to sit down and like give my full attention when I'm watching anime now too. I used to just like annihilate anime. Like I was watching Fairy Tail like back when I thought that was really really good, and then watch like 7 episodes while I'm eating.
Just have it on in the background.
I feel like anime now. I try to digest more slowly.
I can't, bro. I try watching anime, but I can't. I can't watch it by myself. And so this is what's really annoying. People like nonstop recommend stuff. Like, oh, like watch Yusugo. Not you watch Yusugo. What the fuck? Watch Gintama. Watch this. Watch that. Watch that. I'm like, all right, bet. You down to watch it with me? They're like, nah, I ain't trying to watch that. Then why would I watch it? Like, what? You're not selling me well.
I'll watch anime with you.
Fine. Yeah, we'll have to, cause every Friday I'm doing a Steins Gate watch party, but man, these first 6-7 episodes were real slow. Really, really, really slow. That becomes the difficult part, is you invest time into a series, and then for all of us who've done the content creation aspect of it, sometimes it's like, bro, this was dope, but I don't really want to talk about it. I really don't.
You think you're just getting tired and old of like, I mean, I haven't watched a new video, but like, are you getting like tired of like these themes and like all these kind of like ways of being portrayed in anime, like all the little things that kind of get bored?
I'm kind of getting sick of it because there isn't that. So what's always made, I feel like when I talk about Berserk, when I talk about Pun Pun, the moments where I've talked about Vagabond, when I talked about Girl on the Shore, my recent video, the art video, those were videos where there was personal sentiment in there. There was. And I feel like those are videos that I'm a lot more proud of than other ones, because other ones are just kind of like, well, here's my thoughts on this series. Bam. Do with it what you want, read it, check it out for yourself. But when I read something and I feel like there's a piece of me that I'm leaving behind in the video, those are the ones that I love, and I actually try, as messed up as that sounds, and that might get some people upset, but a lot of other videos is just like, oh, well, here I go again. And
no, I think that's valid. I think
that was kind of my mindset when I left.
So, yeah.
Like when you first start watching anime too, like everything's good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Hey, everything's
everything's
new.
Yeah.
amazing, and then the more you watch, the more you kind of refine your taste and start finding things you really click with. And now I think me and you are kind of at the same point, Mest, where like you only want to invest your time to something if you're getting the vibe that this is going to leave like some sort of emotional impact on you, um, and not
I'm
just like for
honestly
the
right
sake of
there.
watching it. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
what did I start watching
So-
recently? Trigun.
What do you Stampede?
Yeah,
Or
I
just
really liked
OG?
it, but for some reason I just keep forgetting to watch it, and I think it's because it's the kind of show I would have loved maybe like 2 years ago, you know? I
Yeah.
can still appreciate it, but I'm kind of like, it's great, but whatever.
There's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
what about like movies or shows or music even?
Music, even
Yeah.
similarly, real similarly to anime. Like, but I feel like music always, like, tastes are always changing with music. I kind of, I don't know how to describe that. Maybe I need to think about it
I
more.
never
Can you hear the
actually,
crazy wind? Sorry. Can you hear
No,
my
no,
shit
not
in
at
the
all.
no,
background?
no, I
it's
can't.
good.
I can't hear.
I live in the
You're good.
windiest
I-
city in the entire world.
Really?
Is that
damn, that's
a
cool.
fact?
Yeah, that's a
Bro
fact.
walks
It's a fact.
outside. Bro walks
Outside
outside,
of
doesn't have to walk. Just
like you can, yeah, exactly. Like far out. Outside of like the South Pole, it's the windiest place.
jeez.
Damn.
Damn.
Alright, well, there you have it. There you have it.
So
Music,
Kansas?
man. Music, man. That is
Yeah.
that's an interesting one, honestly, because it's like with
Music is my favorite media.
well, yeah, because music, there's just something special about it. There's just something I don't know how to explain it, but there are just some songs you just never get sick of, because I think
Yeah.
songs are, you know what I think the difference is? When you read something, right, you have to go through the whole setup, the whole build up, everything that leads into the climax and then the resolution. And you're not doing that over and over and over again with this series. You do it once and then you read other things, and when those other things don't hit the same as that one thing, it's kind of like, eh. So eventually you go back and visit that thing and you gain more of an appreciation for the build up and all that, which then might make you appreciate the climax more, but it's not the same sentiment as when you did it the first time, unless you didn't like it the first time, right? With music, I think what's interesting is that same emotional rush or whatever it is, you can bring that experience back. It can bring memories back. It can bring motivation. Like, it's so, like, we talked about music before, but just to expand on it a little bit, like, I'm one who, like, I can't listen to sad music because it can alter my mood like
You'll
crazy.
start being sad.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I can. So for me, it's I pull myself out of it. Like, I start my morning listening to some crazy, either This Fire Burns by Kill Switch Engage or something off of Iowa. One of the, just to get me going through the rest of the day. So it's like this thing where with music where it's like, you could always find new things, but you also don't ever really get tired of revisiting the things that you love over and over and over. I want to do a video on Slipknot so bad. Oh man, I would. Oh, that
Your
video.
morning routine, you listen to fucking Iowa, bro. Holy fuck! Like your morning, like do you wake up and
I
like
listen-
you
are like
waking up,
instantly
yeah.
energized?
I wake up. Look, I wake up. And either I'm having breakfast because I started eating breakfast and then brushing my teeth afterwards because I feel like that's a little more logical.
Makes more
'Cause
sense.
it's like, yeah. Because before I'd brush my teeth first thing and then eat breakfast, and then I would floss and brush again afterwards. It's like I'm wasting toothpaste here. So, first thing I wake up in the morning. If it's like a slow get out of bed, because I don't with sleeping, bro. It's like, bro, it takes so long for me to sleep. But when I wake up, my bed turns into like a busty MILF who just doesn't want me.
Yeah.
So I'm just Iowa. Every time people equal shit, disaster piece, or I'm hated just to get up and get going throughout the rest of the day. Recently though, it's been more so This Fire Burns, just because that first initial kick of the song is just great. That
Yeah,
just,
maybe I need to try something like that.
ooh, I'm up. Yeah, bro, because bro, you feel like you could take over the world. You could just take
I
over
usually
the
play
world.
something slow, like easy, like for my morning commute. But hey, maybe I need to start blasting some fucking Slipknot.
Oh, bro, Slipknot
me-
and then coffee.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
For me
I've been
growing
so
up, I
productive.
never really listened to a lot of music, like going to school or just in general, like by myself.
Mhm.
So like recently, I've just been listening to a lot. Like I listened to that whole Iowa album he told me to listen to, um, and just in the gym.
One
That's
of
kind of
us,
like the
one
setting
of us,
for it.
one of us.
Um, but I've just been trying my best to like find kind of like an artist that I like the song from, because like I know songs from like growing up and stuff, but I never really listened to artists' like discography. So
Yeah.
now I've just been trying to like pick an album and like listen to it all the way through. I've been doing that with like a lot of Childish Gambino lately, with like because the internet
This is
and like the other
America.
album and stuff like that. That's what I've been doing recently, but like it's kind of a newer feeling, kind of like how I was getting into like anime and manga, but with like
Cool.
music. But it's kind of weird because like usually it's the opposite for people. Usually it'd be music first, then that kind of stuff. But it's the opposite for me.
Yeah. There's been
Yeah.
something I'm wanting to say to you, Augie, by the way, since the last podcast. When you mentioned Nujabes or Nujabes,
Nujabes, yeah.
oh,
Nobody knew.
man. I was
You
so
know
happy. I
Nujabes?
was so happy when you mentioned him.
I love. Okay, Nujabes is someone I've listened to for a while, and he was someone I listened to like all of his music just because like it's a vibe, but it's also
Yeah.
like an emotional connection,
Yeah.
and like his music is like it's just so
I like
good.
full on
it's-
like cried a little bit the other day. No, I was listening to Lovesick Part 2 Acoustica, and I just started tearing up. I was like, oh fuck, this is so
I
good.
love Sick is that whole album, Model Soul, like that album
Yeah.
is like there's not much music that I'm into,
Hmm.
or not many albums I've listened to. So it'll probably change in the future, but that album specifically has not changed for me. Like it fits in every single, like there's certain like Hamas said he can't listen to sad songs and stuff like that, but for me it's like that album you can listen it in any type of mood and get yeah, you could be sad, you can be like vibing, you could be a little frustrated. I feel like all of it still kind of hits the same, just in different moods. And man, that I love that album. It's so it's great.
I fuck with that.
It's great.
You know,
Energy?
I'm fuck with energy.
Yeah, energy. Energy's
What's
asleep
up?
right now.
Energy's
100%.
asleep.
No, I'm not asleep. Yo, what's up, guys?
Yo, what's up? I feel like energy's the guest of the show right now.
I'm so sorry, bro. Oh my god.
Yeah.
You see, I'll
You
be
wanna-
fine. Has said
It's just
fuck
this.
all
It's
for
just
the
this.
But you gotta play Fortnite with
Nice,
Yonko too.
it's-
It's just this new stuff, bro. Like, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with this shit, bro. Like, this shit's gotta be laced or something.
Are you
bro.
good? Are you genuinely good? Like, are
I'm
you
good.
Like,
I'm
we're
fine. I'm
having
fine.
hope?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
All right. All right.
Give the
Hey,
tango
well, I hope you're ready to play
ice
Fortnite.
Wow.
You got anything to add, energy?
About like music. About like music. Or
Or just
something?
anything, like anything to add?
Um.
You on dick right now?
I'm just chilling.
You want
What have you been listening to recently, Energy? Give you a question instead of something you can think of.
Good question. I found that I think everyone knows this band because they made that really one shit song like forever ago called Money Machine. They're called 100 Gex. Everybody hated that song like a couple years back, but I was looking at a lot of their music recently, and this new album came out, and it's really fucking good. It's like modern new metal, if that's even possible. Fucking sounds like super good. It's such like a
Modern
weird
nu metal.
contrast.
Whoa.
Yeah, bro, like it's a really weird album, but it's really good. Which is funny because
This song is some trash. Hold up, not like the album you said, but like the Money Machine.
yeah, no, it's bad. It's bad.
Like on TikTok.
It's really
I've heard
bad.
that. Yeah.
Like
Oh, yeah.
they're
I know
known, they used to be known for making like shit music, but now like it's weird because the like stuff's actually really good now. It's like, why didn't you just start off with that shit like before? Why did you have to be like purposely
they can be
bad
like
shit?
they can be the artist they really want to be at when they first start.
Yeah.
Improvement, energy.
I love
Improvement.
that.
I heard-
That's cool.
I heard you're into MGK recently.
No, bro. Oh my god, don't get me started on that motherfucker, bro. No. I hate him so bad, bro.
How dare he come at Corey Taylor?
It looks like these
You're
type
a
of guys.
50-year-old who runs around and wears a mask, and it's like, gee, he's sticking to the gimmick that made him popular. Who would have guessed it? Who first Eminem, and now Slipknot. I don't know what it is with this parasite making music for 10-year-olds while coming at the the legends of the genres, but you got it. You got it. It gets your name in the headlines. Him and Megan Fox aren't together anymore, right?
Really?
I don't even
They're
know.
done.
I don't even know anymore, man. Oh,
Mass,
fucking
have you heard of a band called Knocked Loose?
Sounds like what I did to you, but
Alright. Nah, it's just you should look into that. I had a friend that's like like a musician, and so he's like, yeah, Slipknot's like super surface level. You should look at Knocked
Okay,
Loose.
listen, bro. People who do that need to actually throw themselves off a cliff. I'm sorry
And
I
I
don't
was like-
listen.
I
No.
was like-
I'm sorry I don't listen to Haunted House with Fingers on My Butt in order to have valid music opinions to you assholes. But I just listen to them and I like them, all right? If they're surface level, all right, well, cool. You can lick the surface of my testicles. They're a good group, bruh. I'm not having it. I just hate that shit. Like, how you listen? Being elitist about anime and manga is one thing, but about music,
That's Buddha.
music,
That's Buddha
man,
right
you
there.
won't even let me enjoy music. Yeah, I'll check out the group though. But that is the worst way to sell someone on something. It's like, oh,
Oh,
you
yeah.
like this? Oh, that's garbage. This is way better. All right, bro, just kill yourself. You could bleep that out. Dude. Fucking kill yourself.
He will not leave that out because he will remember.
Write it down. Write that down. Write that down.
There's
Yeah,
nothing
I
worse
don't know.
than a music snob, right? Like,
Oh yeah.
Just a
Bro,
snob in
how-
general
how
about
can you-
anything.
How can you enjoy this? It's so, bro. I had this one. Okay, hold on. No, actually, I hope the person I'm talking about sees this. I had this one dork, right? I saw when I didn't have my Twitter because someone sent me the screenshot, being like, "Oh, Mass is the biggest like manga tube channel, whatever," and he's like the worst one, right? I need Larish on top. Now, listen, Larish is cool. That's my boy. This person was clearly like meat munching, right? So then I actually catch that person on an Instagram group chat like later on, right? And through a homie of mine who knew him, and I was like, wait a minute, you was the one who was talking all that crap, right? And when I checked, bro had again, it's subjective opinion, but bro was going hard at like my tastes and shit, but he had like Eminem's Revival over MF Doom's entire catalog, Mad Villainy and everything. Which anyone who knows anything about hip hop, again, it's his opinion, that's cool, but don't you go throwing around this taste and all that, and you think Eminem's Revival is a 9 out of 10. Shut up, let's not. So sorry. Anyways, yeah, just motherfuckers who are snobs about shit is incredibly frustrating, increasingly frustrating. And I hate when that label gets thrown on me, because like, bro, I'm so fair. I try to be so fair about most things. If I don't like something, I don't like something, but that doesn't mean you don't have to like it. I never say
Wait,
that.
I'm kind of confused right now. I don't know if I blanked out for a minute when you said that, because you're like, if you're saying someone thinks Eminem's Revival is a 9 out of 10, and then you disagree with that, and that's because they like that.
No,
Does
they
that,
could
like,
like it. I
are
said
you,
they
like-
could like it. I'm just
no,
saying.
let's be clear. Revival was
they
a 2
were-
out of 10.
They were being real harsh on my taste, and yet they had some questionable choices and decisions themselves. I wasn't clowning them for it. There was hella people in that group chat clowning them for it, though. I'm just saying,
Oh,
bro.
okay.
Motherfuckers like to throw stones. You know what I mean? But it's like, just like I'm gonna let him walk free on his opinion on something, even though I think it's questionable. It's like, yo, do it the other way around. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
I
like-
understand.
That's
I
like,
get what you
okay, Augie, that's like when Captain gets on you for liking Attack on Titan, but then he'd vouch for like, I don't know, Fairy Tale. It's like, listen, bro, all right, I know this is all subjective opinion, but calm down, pipe down a little bit. Like, pipe down a little bit. Let
No,
me-
yeah.
Nah,
With
it's
Captain,
like,
it's
you
just like, I'm not even gonna get into that. It's just like he hasn't even half the stuff he don't even really watch. Like Vinland Saga,
He just
like he
be
watched 3
trolling, yo.
episodes. He just be trolling, but like,
Yeah.
doing it for content, even though when the red button's not showing up,
Bro,
he just does any. He's just always on content mode. Like that's
yeah.
him, man. He's always on content mode, regardless of the situation.
Hopefully, we can get him on here one day.
Oh boy, that's gonna be an interesting. Can I be honest? Can I be honest? I don't want to, just because I can literally predict what that entire hour of conversation is gonna be like.
Yeah, you're right.
He'll just
but still,
be entertaining. It'd be entertaining.
Yeah.
We've had him on the previous podcast, and those are honestly one of the most entertaining episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are fun. Nightly as well, man. Nightly's...
Oh, we gotta get Nightly. MoonDoggie, you don't know? Okay, you don't know what a Nightly is, but to explain to you what a Nightly is. A Nightly is this little goblin, right? That somehow is the funniest, most entertaining. But okay, you know who Low Tier God is?
No.
I'm gonna show you. I'm such a no. When I show you, When I show you who Low Tier God is, your life will never be the same. Okay, so imagine that one friend who had the best, funniest comebacks, toxic as hell on video games. Like, he is all of those things encapsulated, but into a mini version of what Low Tier God is. Like, bro. I've never seen somebody have so little but yet talk so much. It's amazing. It's amazing. You listen, when we get Nightly on an episode, watch the episode, okay? I legitimately think that if Nightly would stream and apply himself, bro would be huge. I would give up anything to see him and Low Tier God play each other in a game. Anything, bro.
Oh, bro.
Anything. I would pay 2,000 right now. Just
Low Tier God will fucking block his ass in an instant.
Low Tier God's good at video games, though. That's the thing. Like,
okay, but the terms and conditions, it has to be a video game. Both of them are good at, and Low Tier God cannot block Nightly. After a certain set of time. After like 2 weeks, you can block him. But I need those 2 weeks of just the Low Tier God Nightly honeymoon. Please, bro.
I would want to see them in like a room together.
His vitamins.
Not being able to like... Low Tier God not being able to like actually put his hands on Nightly, them in a room together and Nightly winning, and just like telling him hush mode and like, man. For the people that don't understand, you will shortly when we get Nightly on. I mean, he's been on before on the previous podcast as well.
Energy has clips of him, bro. Yonko has the clips of him, so we gotta ask Yonko for the clips and all that. But yeah, no, man, it's a great time.
Yeah. So, how we looking?
We have paid for time. How long are these usually?
Like an hour.
It's about an hour.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're about to hit 110 right now. So.
Okay. Sweet.
Is there anything else you wanna talk about, MoonDoggie?
Did you guys already talk about the last episode of Attack on Titan? Sorry, I feel that's all we've been talking about. Podcast, just Attack on Titan, but.
They didn't really care, honestly. Energy's a fake fan now. He don't really
That's not true.
It's just me. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I think it felt a lot more reminiscent of Wit, to be honest, with the Hanji stuff.
Yeah, I thought so too. Yeah.
Which I have a question for you. Do you think we're gonna get an AOE?
Like a stun in League of Legends?
No. Oh my god.
AOE attack.
No, like an anime original ending.
No, I don't. I think best case scenario we get. Because did you read the manga? Are you a manga reader?
Yeah,
Attack on Titan?
Yeah.
Okay. At best, I think we just get a longer version of that because that was just like a little bit too short. And I think adding stuff that's like anime canon, I think that's probably the closest we're gonna get to like a full new ending. So I thought the ending was good.
Were you originally, when you like your initial reaction to the ending of the manga, you thought it was good?
I just thought it was too short. I was like, oh, can you just elaborate on some of this? I liked what it was, but I thought it was too short.
Why do you think in short, why do you think people don't really like it?
I think, okay, here's a hot take. I think
because I might agree with you. I think I might agree with you.
The customers never write well, not never. The customer's usually not right. So when people say
Yeah.
they didn't like the ending, I think what they really mean is the ending. The, the problem
Didn't meet
wasn't the
the
ending
ending.
itself. The ending was the problem with the ending was like what I said. Like it needed more context. It needed more time to like. There's some moments in there that need to be slower and like padded out more, or fleshed out more, I should say. Um, yeah. In the same way that when people bitch about CG in anime, they're not really bitching about CG. They're talking about like bad direction or bad art direction, you know? It's
I
not the
guess more
CG's
so for
fault.
like the content itself, without
Yeah.
spoiling too much.
Oh no, the
like,
content was
that's
great.
kind of-
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you like? Because I feel like when people were complaining about the ending, not necessarily having it fully fleshed out, but more so the events that took place and what led the ending to, what we got,
Mhm.
even with the extra like pages and stuff, was something like people were super upset about.
Yeah, I didn't really get that. I don't know why people are upset. I think people just wanted to be upset. And to be honest, like for me, Attack on Titan peaks at the end of season 3, you know? And I feel like everything after that is almost like a victory lap for the whole rest of the show. Um, so I kind of already got satisfied with Attack on Titan.
Really
Yeah.
interesting. I mean, AOT is like 1-1 with One Piece for me. Like they're both like just right there for me. I don't know. Like
Yeah.
I think I had
Yeah.
a talk with we're speaking of Nightly. I had a talk with like Nightly. And like I don't think he can, I don't know, like this sounds, I don't know, this might sound like bad, but like I just feel like he can't comprehend. Not like he can't comprehend, like
He chooses not to,
Okay.
bro. Listen, no. Let's call it what it is. A meathead is a meathead and will always be a meathead, bro. When he told me, respectfully, when he was like, yo, I'm getting on Berserk, I was like, ooh, fuck. Ooh, Jesus. All right.
He's not gonna
Ooh.
like this one.
Okay. No, like here's the thing. I don't care if he doesn't like it. Like that's cool. Like was it Lions in Motion did a video about not liking Berserk, and that's fucking that doesn't affect. I have to pay taxes. The anime and manga does not affect my real life. But just because like I said, a Nightly doesn't just not like something. He trolls about not liking something. And he's really persistent. No, Moondog, you don't understand.
This
He
shit
caught one of our
ass, yo.
homies in a call
but
and didn't stop for an hour. Sorry, but continue.
more
I'll
so
stop.
no, like yeah, like I just think with I don't know, you don't read One Piece, do you? Are you caught up? I feel like I've asked you this before.
Let's
multiple
can I
times.
dodge a bullet here? Just
You
don't ask
don't read
that.
One Piece, right?
No. In short, no.
Oh
Yeah,
man, never
good
mind.
for you, bro.
I can't
Good for
really.
you.
I can't really, bro. See, the problem with you too is you troll too, motherfucker. You troll too.
Only the One Piece fans though, because y'all deserve it.
I love One Piece.
Y'all deserve it.
Fuck
I
One
don't know,
Piece.
man. It's just like
Yeah, Alex, come on with
I'll
fuck
keep it-
One Piece.
alright,
Fuck One
you know,
Piece.
Well,
Fuck
Alex is a
One
Bleach
Piece.
guy. He's in every right to say that. That's
Hey,
fine.
No,
I've
but
actually
I've
watched
made it-
One
I've
Piece
made it
for like
clear.
200
I've made it-
episodes.
I've made it
Hey, let's-
clear that I
And
think
I
One
actually
Piece
did
is
like
one
it.
of the best manga ever. Like people know that's what I think of the series. Just when I see a Luffy profile picture, with some gibberish name, I see red. That's all. I just can't help it. A choking hazard for a name. I can't help it. I just can't. Something inside me. I'm sorry, Augie. Continue.
I just can't get that. My point is like I can't get that same feel. Like the fact that you said that AOT peaked at end of season 3 and like the ending.
For me.
You were already
I don't-
for you, obviously for you. I know you don't speak for everybody else. I understand that. It's weird because a lot of people say like endings can seriously change whether or not they love the series or not.
Yeah.
And I think with One Piece, I feel the same way. But for Attack on Titan, I love it for different reasons. Like I could say already that I love One Piece and I'm satisfied no matter what the ending is because of everything I've already, went through with that series. But with AOT, it's like I actually kind of, when I initially read it, I really liked it. And then like a lot of people's opinions really have like conflicted my own. And then after a lot of time, I kind of like thought about, because I've always said this with Attack on Titan, and it's like in series politics and like how the world runs and the themes in that series is always like it's in my perspective, it's the closest thing to real world that I've seen in a manga that I've read. And it's like, even if Aaron got, you know, or like even if we got like a happy be all like kind of Disney ending, or like a just whatever, like the protagonist and their group wins and everything goes back to, or everything like turns to normal, air quotes normal. Like, I just think for everything AOT has built, it wouldn't make sense if that were to happen, because that's kind of how we see in the ending. Try my best not to spoil here for those who haven't read it. We see that like it's impossible. It's impossible. You know, it's like it's impossible to.
Yeah. We can talk about this maybe. Me and you on a call. But yeah,
it's just
The more
if I go into further, I'll just spoil. Like, it's impossible.
It's not like the like Tokyo Revengers. Do you guys read that?
Oh man, yeah, we did.
That was like my favorite manga until the ending. One of my favorite manga, maybe not my favorite, but far out, man. How to just man, I was so sad when that ended.
I think after the start of the 200s, like when the anime was first coming out, like the first kind of core, like the first 12 episodes was like at the end of the Tenjiku, or after that I don't remember the arcs, but like after the Mikey stuff, like when he went back and you know, like that whole thing was just so like extra, and like it just dragged on for way too long. I haven't finished it, but I don't want to. It's a little bit
similar to Attack on Titan, I think, in some ways. Okay, I gotta be careful what I say here, but you kind of get everything everything you want out of Tokyo Revengers in the second to last arc, you know, and then the end was either okay, this is gonna be a victory lap like Attack on Titan, or it's gonna be too much. And I think for me, it was just like it just fell flat.
But oh man, I wish I read the ending. Like, that's the
you don't
for
need
Tokyo Revengers. Yeah, I feel like I don't need to. But do you really think it was a victory lap for the ending of Attack on Titan? Like I'm not gonna say like I love the ending. I'm just more content with it.
Yeah. I think it's not like a fucking Code Geass blow your mind, blow your balls out, like kind of. Like,
see, that's what everybody wanted, and when we didn't get Code Geass's ending, everybody shit bricks. Everybody was hating on it because
I think that's part of the problem. It's like it almost like set itself up to fail because it was so like frustratingly good from the get-go. There was no like reasonable way to end this without it being, even if it was just like a tiny bit disappointing. The bar was so fucking high. Sorry, energy. There was no way. There was no way you could have, even if it was like 10 out of 10 ending, there was no way it was gonna be satisfying enough.
I think even if it was like a fairy tale, not like the anime, but like a Disney kind of like a good. No, I don't care about that show. I think Xerath is like the only good thing about that series. But
let's not go there. Let's
shit.
Anyway, sorry.
Anyways, even if we did get an ending like that, I feel like it just wouldn't make sense to everything we've built up along the way.
Yeah.
Because of everything we've been through.
Yeah.
Which sucks because that's kind of what we all wanted when we started the series. But growing up and like going over the years, it's not possible. So
are you chomping, energy? What are you chomping on? Monster Munch? What is that?
I'm sorry, bro.
I'm chewing gum. I don't know if that's me.
No, that's energy.
No, chewing gum's not crunchy. But,
I have Pringles right now.
Oh. But yeah, Augie,
But-
I agree with the things you said.
Alright,
Anyway.
you wanna close this out?
Me? No, I think
Just-
Energy should do it because he's
Yeah.
he's
Yo, let's
gonna
go,
sleep.
Energy.
Yeah, I
No,
know.
let's go, let's close this.
No.
Close up. Close up.
Fuck. Give me a second. Alright.
Bro, just say goodbye. Like, the fuck?
We've got Spotify, Apple.
Yeah.
So those will be in the description. And then if you're listening to us on Spotify or Apple, we have a YouTube channel. It's been the Castaway podcast. Thank you for MoonDoggie for coming through and talking to
Thank
us
you.
today.
For having me.
And,
Doggy shit will be in the description as well.
Yep,
Oh,
that is
yeah.
true.
Please watch my videos.
Watch his videos, get some commissions while you're there.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what's up. Alright, guys.
I'll see you on
He's
Fortnite.
He's struggling. He's struggling.
I'm sorry, bro. Oh my god. Can we please end this?
Thank you guys for
That's
watching.
you,
guys.
bro. It's you have the. You
Oh
have
yeah,
power.
that's right. Alright,
God.
Oh
You're
my
the
God.
guy.
peace.